Sure, Masandawana, we are back after a few months break. We finally back, man. The Yellow Corner is back, and we bring you the preview of our 2024-2025 season, man. My name is Tabiso. For those who are watching for the name for the first time, Tabiso, popularly known as Aizo, and alongside me is my partner in crime, Rabla. Rabs, how's it?
I'm not the Aizwena.
No, I'm hundreds, man. Feeling refreshed. Yeah, I missed recording, I must say. As tiring as it is at times, but yeah, when you go for a few months without doing it, you miss it. You miss the research and the planning that goes behind what we do, man. But yeah, we finally back, man. Looking forward to the new season.
Yeah, no, I think it's great to be back, doing what we love again. Yeah, no, looking forward to the season, and hopefully for us as Masandawana, it's going to be a great one because of the previous one, how it ended, man. It ended very, very bad. So I'm hoping that we are going to start the season well and finish it well as well, man.
In the last, you just reminded me, Ore, the last two seasons, the previews that Rona, hey, we preview the games and then they end on
our ending is not nice. Man. It's not nice.
Yeah, man. A lot happened during the off season, man. Some shocking news. I remember one Tuesday or Wednesday morning, Kyoto Osa Ulid Kubong, I came to your room. Hey, have you seen Mazola's tweet? So Raplang doesn't stay with me for those who don't know. And he's my brother, my younger brother. Ne? So he's based in the Free State. I'm based in Gauteng. So he came to visit me during school holidays. He's a teacher by profession. So he came to visit me, man, and we were planning the pre-season, how we're going to go about it, and then one Tuesday morning we had shocking news that changed everything. Coach Ulani obviously left and he's now joined a new team in Wydad AC, man. But I don't want us to dwell on that because I think it is a subject that a lot of people have touched on it, and I think we should move on. And I would rather we focus on our new technical team, man. Coach Mangoba, I almost said the head coach, but the club hasn't issued a statement as to whether he is the head coach or not. They just said Steve Rompela will assist. He's getting senior coach and he will be working or assisting Coach Mangoba, but they didn't say straight. But launch MTN 8, he said the journalist can refer to him as coach. Coach Mangoba at the helm, supported by Steve Rompela as well as Romain Folz for close. Thoughts on our new technical team?
Yeah, no, I think as much as we have lost Coach Rulani, but I'm glad that we still have Coach Mangoba Mniti, who has been at the club for the longest time, man, and he understands the players and what the team wants in terms of the objectives as well as the goals of the team. And so I'm happy that we managed to keep Mangoba, and there were some rumors that some teams want him, but I'm happy that he's at the team and he's our coach. As for appointing Steve Rompela, man, I think Steve Rompela Lena, he had been at the club as much as he joined Swallows and moved to Golden Arrows, but he has been at the club and he knows the team as well. So I think the appointment of Coach Rompela Leona, I think it is a good one because of Coach Rompela is more than just a coach in terms of how he connects with the players, man. So I think you need that type of person in your technical team as well. And lastly, Romain Folz, man. It was shocking for us. I never saw it coming that Sundowns has some interest on him. But as much as he didn't do well at Gallant as well as Amazon, but as a young coach, I think the technical team need some young energy. So I think that's what Romain Folz will maybe bring to the team because of as much as you have experienced guys like Coach Mangoba and Coach Steve, but you also need some young blood in your technical team. Like previously, I think it was season 2014 and 2015 season, whereby Rulani was assistant coach under Peter and Coach Mangoba, and I believe that Rulani learned a lot from them. So I think Romain Falls, I think we learn a lot from the two guys, and I think the two guys as well will learn something from Romain.
Yeah, man, I share similar sentiments to you, man. I'm happy we didn't bring someone from outside, maybe from Europe, who would have to start afresh, get to learn the players and the players get to learn him, I think I'm happy with the continuity, like since 2013, we had Coach Pito who brought on Coach Mangoba and then Coach Hulani. And when Coach Pito left, the two guys took over, and then Coach Hulani was made head coach, and then but Mangoba was still there. Now Coach Hulani has left, but Mangoba is still there. At least Steve Kompela was there at some point, and he's back at the club, So I'm really happy with the having Mangoba at the helm, and I think at times people, a lot of us forget how good Mangoba Mniti is as a coach. He's a brilliant, brilliant coach, Mangoba. He speaks a good game. He doesn't just speak a good game. It is there to see, and I'm happy with him taking over. Steve Kompela, now it goes beyond football. I love Steve. Anyone I like Steve. Like I said, it goes beyond football. I think he's a great person, an amazing human being. And I think his best quality is his man management skills. And a squad as big and as talented as Sundowns has, and the egos. Football players have egos. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Big name players have egos. Steve Kompela is perfect for that, for the dressing room, So he's that guy who will give you a shoulder, to cry on. He's a father figure. I'm not saying Coach Mangoba is not any of that, but I think this is one of Coach Steve's best qualities, and he's also a coach. He's a very experienced coach. He might not have been fortunate to have won in his in the past, but he will definitely add value to Mamelodi Sundowns, I believe. Ne? And then there's Fohloza, and I honestly didn't see this coming. And when one heard about this, on Twitter before it was made official, one was very skeptical about this. We were like, what is this team doing? Why are they bringing this guy? And then I think it was Lorenzo, I think, who posted a video, seasons gone by when Falls was still at Gallants, ne? And Mangoba was speaking very highly of him. Ne? So Mangoba, obviously, he's a seasoned coach. He sees the game differently to the eye that Nalwena supporters see it. So he definitely saw something in the guy, and he felt maybe he can bring something into the technical team. And like you said, he's young, fresh ideas, not to say Stephen Kompela Stephen Mangoba don't have fresh ideas, but he's a young coach, and I think we should give him a chance. The fact that he didn't succeed at his previous teams doesn't mean he will fail at Sundowns. If he does, then so be it. It happens, man. We all have to start somewhere. So I'm happy with the technical team and looking forward to the new season. We can't do preview Mamelodi Sundowns and not talk about transfers. Let's talk about the ins and outs at Sundowns, as well as something that I want us to touch on a bit. Ne? Are you happy? Let me first start the guys that left. Ne? Are you happy with the guys that left the team? And are you happy that they were released or let go? Do you think there are still guys that need to be let go?
I think some of the guys that left, I think it was their attempt to leave, man. I think they've done quite well for the team. More so like Serino, I think he did well at Sundowns. He contributed well in terms of the numbers, and he was present when we won the trophies. So I think it was his time to leave because of his position was totally gone. So I think it was the right time. But for Zungu, man, I think we should have kept him for at least a season because of what Zungu brings to the team in terms of the experience and his quality as well. And with Rivaldo coming in and out of the team, I think Zungu played a huge role in that river position, and he fitted very well. And the young guys in the team, I think they look up to Bongani Zungu. But as for Brian Onyango, man, I think, yeah, Brian should have left a long time ago.
Let's
man.
be honest,
Yeah.
Brian Onyango should have never been signed from the
True,
onset,
true. I
man.
think, yeah, no, I think Lena, when those news broke up or Sanders wants him, I think he was shocked. Lena. So, yeah, no. But for Thabiso Kutu, man, Lena, I think he didn't do well at Sanders, man. And I'm happy that he is gone and he will get a game time where he's going. But for Mendieta, I think Sanders was not fair, man. I think the guy, man, he deserved more, man, in terms of the minutes and being fair on him and reward him because of his performances, man. So I think,
Rabs, with Mendieta, I could be very, very wrong. I could be far off the mark. Ne? But something tells me he's the one who initiated the move away rather than the club saying, we want you out. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. So I think maybe he was frustrated. Okay, the number of minutes or lack thereof, number of minutes that he got last season. So he approached the club and said, I want out. I think, I like I said, I could be wrong.
yeah, no, I think that might be the case because of a guy like Mendieta who did well at Stellenbosch. He arrives at Sundowns and the little game time that he gets, he tries his best to perform. So I think he saw that maybe I don't have the place here in Mamelodi Sundowns. Let me go and look somewhere else. But as for Ngubeni, man, I think Ngubeni had a tough position, had a tough competition at the left back, man. He was fighting with AB, Lunga, even Mudiba sometimes.
I almost asked you, Ngubeni. Like I totally forgot about Ngobs, you know.
Yeah, no. So I think he's a young boy and he wants to play, but yeah, no, the competition was tough. As the players that didn't leave, that I wanted them to exit the team. I think the first one is to be Dennis. And I think Dennis has been at the club for the longest 10 years, won trophies. I think he needs to hang up at the boots and let the young guys take that second choice position. And I think the other one, I think the one that I expected the most has to be Dennis. The second one, I think, man, a guy like Lisiba Nkumen, as much as it's only been a season at Sundowns, but man, I think this season is going to be tough for him in terms of breaking into the team, man.
Pre-season training, I get he was playing left back, and Maestro was calling him Marcelo. He actually had a decent, to be fair to Lisiba, he actually had a decent pre-season playing there at left back. The one, yeah, Zungu. Lena, I thought maybe they will give him one more year, you know. But again, I understand looking at who I think is taking over from him in Malbongo Khoza. Because that boy is a brilliant player. But obviously, the experience between the two oceans apart, you know. So I'm cool with the guys that left. I'm glad someone like Nico Mobi has now permanently moved somewhere to SuperSport, you know. Yeah, I'm happy with those guys that left. I also, like you, felt this is the last season was Dennis's last season, man. Dennis, man, agathola span at our Sundowns, maybe over assistant goalkeeper coach, or maybe the goalkeeper coach, yeah, MDC side, DDC side, you know. I really think God, no, he served the club really well, man. So I thought last season was his last season. I think Mashiko for me, his style, the style of play that Sundowns plays, totally different. I don't think he suits Sundowns or Sundowns suits him. But funny enough, I'm gonna contradict myself here. with the style of play that Mangoba we saw pre-season, the one that Mangoba implemented, yeah, moving the ball quicker, fullbacks, proper overlapping instead of maybe inverting and stuff like that. Maybe this might just suit him, so you never know. I thought Lunga was one of those that will definitely live as well, so yeah, maybe the transfer window closes study 20th September. We're recording this on the 2nd of August. So there's still some time to go before the window closes. So we'll see what happens. Are you happy with the signings that we made? We brought on Obamelo Kodisang. I only struggle with his name. For the longest time, I thought Kamuhelo until we signed him. Yeah. Kodisang, we brought on Sales, we brought on Johannes and Tijuana. Are you happy with the signings that we made?
Yeah, no, I'm happy. Like as much as some of the guys, like with Tijuana, both Sales, we don't know them very well because of Tijuana. He's only played, I think, 13 games at Skukune, and he's young, but I can see the direction that the team is taking. Yeah. I feel they are looking at the youngsters that will grow into the team and adjust early into the team because of they want those young boys to get that winning feeling and Lebona Baijare and take it to the next level. So I think both Johannes, I think they have to prove, like they know that the competition at Mamelodi is very high and he'll be competing with, I believe, Mudawet right back. So I think he can be a good second choice for Mudau and give Mudau maybe that competition that will also help Mudau to elevate his game and become a better player. But as for Salis, I think signing a player from abroad, the expectations have to be high, man, because of we know that these guys, they don't come cheap and they are salaries, man. So he has to deliver, man. And I believe that from what the coaches are saying, I think we have signed a good player, but he needs to prove himself. And I think for now, I'll be fair on our new signings. I won't judge them now. I think they need to get into the field and prove themselves, and that's when we can only judge them, because of you become negative towards a new signing and only to find out that's the guy that will help the team to go to the next level. So I'm quite happy with the new signings, and I believe that with their age, I think they can contribute immensely to the team, man.
Share similar sentiments, but also tend to differ here and there with you. Kodisang, I'm okay with the signing of Kodisang. I think he's a very good player, man. He can push the ball at high speed. His close control is great. Running at full speed, he can cross the ball as well. So I think he's a good player, Kodisang. And then there's Sales, man. The little that I saw of that guy, I didn't see an out-and-out striker, a number 9. I saw a forward who plays on the right, he's left-footed. He likes drifting inside, and taking the shots, similar to what Ribeiro is, what we saw of Ribeiro when we signed him. But he's got stature as a number 9, and from hit maybe higher last season. He played more on the right, coming inside there. But by the sound of it, the technical team are clearly gonna make him a number 9. We saw Kakemia Al Hilal where he started, where he was a number 9. So it might take a bit of time for him to get to understand the position, because number 9, you spend a lot of time facing the game, watching the game, waiting for the ball to come to you, and then 10, So unlike more on the wide channels, you are half facing the game and half focusing on making a move forward. So yeah, man, I'm happy with that signing. From what I saw, the little that I saw, we can't pretend as if we've watched these guys and stuff like that. No, we went on YouTube, checked as many videos as possible to try and get to see the type of player that we're getting, and I liked what I saw. Of all the signings that we made, he excites me the most, Sales. And then there's Johannes. Vanoli is a brilliant player. He's absolutely amazing at his primary role at defending, and he can also go forward and cross the ball. The only thing at the signing is that I feel like that's one position where we okay. There's the best right back in the continent, Mudau. There's Zukum Dunyelo, who I think of the signings, midway signings that we made last season. He adjusted the quickest, I think he's a brilliant player, Zugo. Then there's Grant, who can play right back, when need be. And then there's Tapelo Morena. So I'm not saying it is a wrong signing. Maybe I would have been more excited at this signing if we didn't have the options that we already have at right back. And then there's the one. Honestly, I didn't know much about the kid. I know he scored one of the contenders for goal of the season last season. April for Skukun, and I do not know much about him. He broke through last year. And my favorite, or the player that I would have loved to be part of the team and take over the left back position, I think Malebo is a brilliant player.
Yeah.
Man. I really like Malebo Khomodise, but we'll obviously support these guys, man. Let's talk about our loaning policy at Mamelodi Sundowns. Are you happy with it? Is there a plan when it comes to loaning out the players at Sundowns? Because for me, now it seems as if Sundowns at times just sends out players anywhere just to make sure there's no overcrowding in Kloko, that to make sure that it doesn't turn to Pirates when Pirates used to train at Johannesburg Stadium, where they had so many players that there would be Orlando and Pirates part of it. So they're running away from having Mamelodi and Sundowns, I think it seems like it, because some of the loans that Sundowns idiots are, they do not make sense to me. How are you still loaning out the player who's over 25? Sibanyoni is 28. They've loaned him to Richards Bay. Goss is 30. They've loaned him back to Supersport, It doesn't make sense to me. At that age, man, clearly the player is not going to make it at your club if you still loan him at that age, And then there's the factor, once you loan player out more than twice, I mean, what's there that you still want to see, when you do that? So I'm anti that, man. And then there's the situation here, the clubs that we loan these players to, do we loan these players to clubs that, apart from just getting game time, but to clubs that share similar philosophies to us, where they might not play the same style of play to the T as us, but you can see similarities between Ronaldo and Bona, and you're like, okay, this player, I'm loaning him out, he will improve 1, 2, and 3. I watched Mkuma last season. Yes, he's left Sundowns, they gave him his clearance. I watched Mkuma at Tax, man. I felt sorry for Mfanole. I felt so sorry for Mkuma, because he had such a promising career, and they sent him out on loan to a club that plays a totally different style of play to us, where the ball, he spends more time on the air than on the ground, and Promise is a ball player, but the ball bypassed him and they turned him into, I saw Promise Ashapadi long throw in, they proper turned him into a long throw in merchant, man, and it upset me, man. I felt so, okay, if you loan Promise to this team, what is it that you want him to know or learn, where he hardly gets to play the ball? So those are my views, guy. I do not like the loan policy at Sundowns, man. Your thoughts?
I think the problem starts with the signings, man. I think sometimes we sign players that we don't need, and when they arrive at the team, that's where we want to loan them. I think if we can sign players that we really need and that will help the team get to the next level, I think we are going to see less players being loaned out, man. And I think Sundowns has lost the purpose of loaning these players out to other teams, because of, if you loan a player out, you want him to get the game time and to come back as a different player, to be more competitive. But it looks like we just send them away in order to make space at the team. And as well, I think, like we have said, we need to choose the right teams for these guys, man. And as much as other teams, they might not play like us, but at least there should be some similarities between Sundowns and the players, the teams that where we send the players to, man. And lastly, I think sometimes we need to accept that we have fumbled in terms of making the business deal, man. If you have signed a player and it is not working out, you can give the player the clearance and he looks for another team instead of sending players away. So the players like they don't know their future, man. You want to get to a team, sign a contract, and
Igor, sorry to interject. During the course of the week, Amazulu unveiled their new kit and new players. Ne? And one of the players that we've sent out on loan is Igadaron. And he said that he's frustrated in this thing of being loaned every year. There's no stability.
Definitely. And not everyone that we have developed is going to play for Sundowns, man. I think we need to understand that as well. I think as much as we have invested in that player from an early age, but it's not guaranteed that in a couple of years he'll play for Sundowns. So I think as much as we are a good development team, but we need also to listen to the player what they want, man. Because of already some, I think they want their clearances, they want to get to the new teams because of some of the teams have shown some interest in them. So I think we need to make better signings so that will prevent us from loaning out players.
Yeah, no. Speaking of loaning, on that subject, I was surprised to hear that one Erwin Saavedra is back at Mamelodi Sundowns. I don't know if you are as shocked as me, man. I actually did a video for Goal with regards to his return. He was loaned out Noka February, and I think the loan term high was up until the end of the year. I just can't remember which day, December. Ne? And he played 13 games for them, with 0 goals and assists. Ne? And like he on Twitter, he raised a valid point. As much as he didn't score or create, he didn't play his natural position in that team. Bolivar, he played right back, ne? Which is a valid point. But the reason I mentioned the numbers and lack of GNA ne, is that at Sundowns, he's definitely not going to play right back. They will play him further forward, and this thing, this recalling Saavedra has shocked me because one, he's a foreigner who will definitely take one of the foreign spots. We need to let go of one of the two players, because with him returning, we now have 7 foreigners, and you can only register 5 in there. So I didn't see this one coming. And your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think it was shocking, man. I even completely forgot about that guy. He's part of our team, man. I forgot about him, and so I was surprised when I was on social media and I saw that Sundowns has recalled him. And like my worry is that this guy, when he arrived at Sundowns, okay, he needed some time to adjust, but he spent more time injured than being with the team, and then he gets loaned out to a different team. He's played out of the position. So what is the reason or the aim for calling him back, man? Because of in his first season at Sundowns, he was injured for a lot of time. When he went out on loan, he was played out of the position. So I think like there are no valid reason that I'm trying to find out of why did we recall him. Because of like you're saying, I doubt that we've recalled him to play at the right back. So I think he'll play at his natural position and look at the competition in the middle of the park. I don't see him cracking into that team and into that starting 11. And the important issue that you have raised is that he's taking that foreign spot. And if the player is going to take that foreign spot, he needs to be someone who's a regular in the team, like not someone who spends more time on the net cares being taken care of, man. So I think he needs to be a regular and contribute to the team. Look at what Ribeiro is doing, man. Like you are happy as a supporter. Okay, the foreign spot is taken by someone who's always available, who's doing well for the team. So I think I doubt we'll get that from Saavedra, man.
Yeah, speaking of the injuries, last season, Raps, we suffered a lot of injuries, especially muscle injuries. More so, there was this type of injury that was very consistent in our team. The adductor slash Achilles tendon slash groin injury. Ne? And it worried me about these muscle injuries. You can't go through the season without getting the injuries. They are part of the game, you know. But when you constantly get the injury, the muscle injuries, and there's this one injury that's always there on the list, it's worrying, you know. Are you worried going into the new season, or we might suffer the same fate where Majida are always on the nursing beds, you know, suffer because of these muscle injury? Because, you know, last year, April 2023, we appointed a new head of physical performance, Matthias Zayenberg. And last season, last year, pre-season, it was his first with the club. So I thought about this, Kiri. Maybe he came with new ways of training, and the players that they were not used to them, you know. So I'm not blaming the injuries on Matthias. I'm just speculating or not. Maybe our preseason was totally different to the ones that we've had in the past, the one that our players are used to, and maybe hence we suffered these injuries. But I believe, Jorge, going into the new season, the team that deals with the physical and the health science team and the medical team sat down and looked at what the underlying factors, the injury, the last season, and they made the correction. So I hope this season we don't suffer as many injuries muscle injuries as we did last season. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think we want everyone fit and available so that we perform well as a team, man. When you have a lot of players out, it affects your season and how you have prepared going into the season. But I think the main factor, I think it is the amount of games that we play, because of we play more games than everyone in South Africa. We travel more than anyone in South Africa. So I think those are the factors. And I think that department, the fitness, the medical department, I think it is their responsibility to manage the players well, man. I think obviously they try, but there should be solutions, man. We can't have a lot of players out and missing within the team. So I think the appointment of Zekenberg, I think it will help the team, because of you need your trainer, your conditioning coach to be on his A game. So I think this season, man, I hope that we don't have a lot of guys missing out because of that one injury you have mentioned, the groin, man. Because of if it is different types of injuries, you can say, okay, maybe but if it is a common injury that's happened more constant, I think it is worrying, man, and there should be some solutions, man. But hey, this thing, the medical what hey, needs bo kana imang take doctor wa sana se ba rata go celebrate go rile,
Dr. Khalil Tasaki.
When support us, hey, sometimes it is difficult because of you don't have the knowledge that they have in terms of the stages of the injuries, when the player is likely to recover. So I think for NSFN, sometimes it is little difficult to answer, man. But I think we will do well in this season in terms of the guys' injuries, man.
I think we probably have the best medical side of Sundowns. With Tasaki, with Dr. Kale, they've been there, man, for the longest time, you know. Let's touch on our preseason, man. Your thoughts on our preseason that we had in Austria. Austria, ne?
Yeah.
Austria. Uh, your thoughts on the preseason overall, the new system that will clearly play, new style, new formation. Were you happy ka our preseason training from what you saw, and which players impressed you the most during this preseason?
I think we had a great season, and I think
Preseason.
preseason. I mean, I think it was a great one. I think uh, the guys, I think they did well. We played against top teams, and those games were very competitive. And you can see the fight from the opponents and as well from Mamelodi Sundowns. So I think it was great to see us playing teams that we don't normally play against, man. And I think the coaches had a good time to assess the new guys that have joined the team as well, to assess the new position that we are most likely to play. And speaking about the formation and the system, I think from the games that I've seen, it looks like we are going to play a 4-3-3. And also how we play in terms of the build up and the progressing of the ball. I think it's going to be different because of, you look at the games that we have played during the preseason, we have a lot of numbers closer to the final third than in our half. So it shows that the build up is going to be different because of, we don't have a lot of players closer to our box when we build up from the ball. So I think sometimes we might see a long ball from Ronwen straight to the forwards in terms of the distribution. So I think, and also I've seen Sandos playing with a high tempo, man, in terms of how we move from the ball moves from the back line to the middle field and progresses to the guys who are playing up front. I think we are moving with the speed, and it looks like the system that we are going to play needs players to be fit and to think fast, because of, if the ball moves fast and you don't think fast, obviously you'll slow down how we want to get to the final third. And we have seen our fullbacks overlapping instead of inverting. So it makes sense why Nku played as a left back as well as Mashiko played as a left back, because they offer they offer more pace than what Mdiba offers, because of Mdiba technically
Technical mode,
he's
yeah.
superb, man, in terms of his ball control, how he reads the game. So I think Sanos are looking for speed from the guys who are playing at
The white spaces.
the fullbacks. And from the middle field, I think obviously we'll see Mokoena, Ubas, Onkosi playing at the base of the middle field, and our number 8. I think the team wants balance in terms of having a right-footed number 8 as well as the left-footed number 8, so that you have that balance within the middle field. And when you want to go wide, you know that you have Mayema as a number 8 that can drift a little bit wide. Limudiba can drift a little bit wide to stretch the opponent, as well as Marcelo or Mbulo can play on the right as a number 8. So I think they want balance in the middle field. But up front, I see us playing with a false number 9 who has mobility and who can make runs. And from last season or previous seasons when we had Shalulil, obviously Shalulil is the guy that wants to be fed the ball. But this season looks like the guy who will play at the center forward will be a guy that can drop deep and collect the ball and make other players around him to shine, man. And as for the player or the players that have impressed me, I think I have to go with 2, man. I think Mabena and Matthews. I think Tashik Matthews did very well, man. I think he's promising, he's young, and he's good, man. So I think this season he will feature more in our games. And as for Mabena, man, I think I saw a different Mabena in terms of how he does when he has the ball, man, in terms of the passes, man. You know that Mabena is direct, he likes to eliminate, and he's a skillful player. But during the preseason, I think I saw something different from him in terms of reading a pass and knowing when to release the ball, knowing when to run with the ball.
Okay, interesting. Let me start where you ended, Ka. the players that impressed you me the most. Then I have those two, but I have two more. Mabena is fearless, man, and I love what the senior players are doing. They encourage him to go at his man. In the last game, Mokrantana Sadlalite, Al Hilal, Hanal distance. I could hear Grant constantly whistling, and the guys, Mtate, Iagoe, Moinke, and I think I, right now, Mabena is starting for me at Sundowns next season. Let me put it out there. Yeah. Tash, Tash inside the box, man. Relaxed, man. Finishing, great finishing, you look at his stats from his last season overseas there. I think he had 11 goals and 11 assists, or 10 goals and 10 assists, something like that. So Tash will give you that GNA. He will give you, he's a proper numbers guy, and he will give us that. And he impressed me. Gantoka. I think he'll feature a lot, more so centrally, maybe this coming season. Then there's Malbongwe. That boy is brilliant, man. He's so composed. His reading of the game is magnificent, he's one that impressed me. And watching him, I also watched him throughout the DDC season, last season. But watching him play in the senior team convinced me more. Okay, this is the reason why Zoom was let go. And then there's another player, Skara. And I think Skara is a brilliant player, man. I think he has that thing, Skara, man. And I think he will definitely turn out to be a great player. When it comes to our style of play, it's clearly 4-3-3, and it's clear that we are going to move the ball fast, And I think Coach Mangoba made it clear launcher MTN8 he loves fast football. And the only time where he pulls the handbrake is when he plays against teams that play a low block, because you don't want to go and bang your ball and then they counter you and tolerate your defense is not proper at the time. But we'll definitely play high tempo, man. It's clear. The football that we will play next season, man, on Twitter. I think this season the wide players on wide forwards, I think Manoba wants players who can eliminate, who fast and can eliminate. Hence, I think Zwane will play as an 8 this season. He'll play 10 if we change the system and require 10, because on the wide spaces, Zwane is not a player that can put the ball there and say, let's go. So hence, I think he will be much deeper, And I saw in our build-up phase, the point that you mentioned in the first third, we don't have as many numbers when we build up, but in the final third, we have more numbers. So the plan is to clearly move the ball quickly to the forwards, And I think that's how we will play this season. The other thing that I saw, set pieces that are against us, in defending them. Last season, the wide free kicks. Last season, we had our line was very high, but this season I saw it drop back a bit, The other final point, I saw a lot of the short corners again during pre-season, and that demoralized me. I do not like. I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, not a fan for the longest time.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the short corners, man. The execution thing, man. So we'll definitely play much quicker, Yes, at times it will make us susceptible to the breaks, but we'll create more. And Coach Mangoba emphasized that he wants to create more because he believes the more you create, the more you score. Perhaps going into this season 24-25, you look at our squad. Who do you look at and say this is a defining season for you? If you don't crack it this season at Sundowns, I don't see you having a future at Sundowns.
I think I'll start with my boy, man. I think this season it's make it or break it for him, man. And for my boy, man, he's a good a team player, man.
Can we still get the best of Mabue, or have we had the best of Mabue? If we really being honest, there.
I think we have had the best, but going forward, I doubt
he's reached the ceiling.
Yeah, no, I think we'll doubt get the best out of him because I remember his best season was when he played as a number 8 with Mkhuli. So then we had River behind him. I think in that season he played very well, and there was a season where he was played out of position as a false number 9, and it was a lot of criticism coming from the fans, but he did very well. But from now and going forward, man, I doubt he still have something to offer to the team, as well as Terence Mashiko, man. You spoke about his style of play and how we play, man. They're like, hey, the difference, man. And for Mashiko, in terms of how we play and how he plays, like it is difficult for him maybe to adjust to how we play because of the qualities that he has within himself are different to our style of play. And the last two has to be the Sibamku and Sipombule, man. And for Sipombule, when you got him from Super Sport, I was excited. I knew that like when it comes to talent, man, Sipombule is one of the best.
Second to none,
man, in the PSL. Like he does things like effortlessly, man. Like he doesn't sweat, man.
It's natural, point where he doesn't have to, work hard for it to happen. It's an Imomadi.
Definitely. And the issue that he hasn't lived up to the expectation, man. We're excited. We thought that this was going to be a regular, but he's in and out of the team. So I think he needs to fight this season, and fighting starts from him being fit and trying to get to the team and fight for his position. And with his capabilities, man, Sipombule can be a start at Sundowns, man, but it needs to start with him being fit, and ensuring that he's always available when the team needs him.
Yeah, and only the player that I think this is a defining season for at Sundowns is Sipombule, man. Your homeboy, Mfana Metla. I think, like you said, Sipo is talented. I think he's top 2 technically at Sundowns. It comes natural to him. He doesn't have to sweat it. What's about bolo, Sipo mfeto? What's about bolo, Sipo? Laba ka raska dlala bolo. Mahot Manali, kasi ba tamang mang na le ntsweng buka nako tsa hae.
Kana kwa di-masters khono mbona
ka o shape ka mkhaba mara ha kena ra wa bona is 50 something mara ha kena ka ground you can see ha de khotman le ntsweng buka nako. Sipo, he has that thing. So I think for now, just speak to Sipo. No, this is a defining season for him, man. Perhaps season expectations. Which trophies are we winning this season?
I think we are definitely defending our league title, and because of it is under the new sponsorship, we need to win it first before anyone else, man. And the Nedbank Cup as well, man.
How defend our league title when other people don't even have us when they are finishing top 3 of the there are people who made predictions and they have us way down, man.
I think the departure of Coach Rulani made some people to underestimate Mamelodi Sundowns, and I think sometimes it is nice to be underestimated, because of when you succeed, the victory taste way different, man. So I think it is nice, and we don't need to prove to those guys that we can win the league. I think we should do it for ourselves, and I think it is part of our goal to defend the league. And I think the Nedbank Cup, man, I think when how the season ended, man, I didn't like that. So I think I want us to win the Nedbank Cup. And we know that the Nedbank Cup usually it is the last game of the season, so it's very nice to end the season very well. You go to the off season with happiness, man. In the CAF Champions League, at least let's reach the finals, man. I think reaching the finals for me, I think it will give me joy. And the nice part about reaching the finals is that when you get to the final, anything can happen. As long as you are there, it is 50-50, 50 chances of winning. The opponents have 50 chances of winning. So I think getting to the finals, then we take it from there, man.
Mm, mm. Yeah, and I think the league Sundowns has to win the league, man. You can't go from winning the league, number two being 23 points behind you,
Yeah,
and go into and not win it the following season. Number two or anyone shouldn't make up 20 points, 20 points plus in one season. Do you know Pirates? I saw a tweet here, Kubo, ne? He posted this, and I was like, what? Do you know Pirates last season they finished second, ne?
mm,
But they were closer to number 15, Richards Bay, than they were to Sundowns. So you cannot tell me there's any reason. Yes, we've lost one of the best coaches, a great mind, an amazing technocrat in Coach Hulan,
yeah,
but that shouldn't make such a huge difference that you let a Timo Isilenga 23 points and
yeah.
others to win the league. Ne? I have a feeling we'll win the Cullen Black Label this year. Ending the year on a high note. When you want to end the season on a high note, then I hope we win the CAF Champions League, and I will continuously predict Sundowns to win the CAF Champions League. Man, at times it's more hope than belief. But yeah, I hope we get to win the Champions League, man. What would you consider as failure, Raps, next season?
I think, I think winning only a single
Bear in
domestic.
mind, management does Sundowns consider not winning the Champions League as failure.
Yeah, no, from what they're saying, it looks like it is CAF Champions League or nothing. By their objectives, you can see that if you don't deliver the CAF Champions League trophy into the cabinet, then we show you the door, man. So, so for now, like realistically, I think winning a single domestic cup and not winning the league and not getting to the final, I think, man, it will be a failure, man. And
Final Champions League, that is.
yeah, no, and sometimes it looks like winning the league, like it's not enough, man. For Sundowns, like how the expectations from the fans and the management, man. So it shows that management wants to go big, man. So hopefully, uh, what happened with the previous coach, who broke records and blah blah blah. So I think things will remain the same at the end of season, judging how the coach at the helm has performed, man.
It would be nice. It would be nice going to the USA next year to the FIFA Club World Cup, ne? With the Champions League
Yeah,
as champions of your continent. Real Madrid next year, if they do win the Champions League, but Liverpool will win it. Story for another day. Real Madrid ababeya Club World Cup ababeya UEFA Champions League ya bona hi le rona re beya ya rona hi wabo. So yeah, failure, like I said, you can't go from winning the league by 20 plus points and not winning the next season. You can't let teams make up 20 points in one season. So I think not winning the league will definitely be failure for Sundowns. And yeah, and maybe just winning one trophy, I'll consider it as failure. I mean, we've set the bar so high at Sundowns,
yeah.
man. And yeah, the players are so good, and hence we have to set it that high, man. Rabs, in closing, we have, I think, a few minutes left, man. In closing, man, are you worried? Ngomchita 38.
Yeah, no, hey, from what I've seen during the preseason, man, kuyala, kuyala. I think Shalulile, man, his performances, man, like, and you can see he gives his all, man. Sometimes the body language, you can see, man, this player, like his mindset is no longer here. But with Shalule, every time he's on the pitch, he's the same Shalule in terms of the effort that he gives the team, the drive, the energy, how he encourages the other guys to do well. But him as an individual, man, I think he's declining a little bit, man. And maybe because of the injuries, you may not know, but like I'm very worried in terms of his performance. And we know that within our team, like Shalile can be that guy that gives us plus 15 goals in the
League only.
the league, man. So and when someone who gives you those numbers, his performance is going down, obviously you'll be worried because of you want him fit, you want those numbers from him to ensure that you defend the league and you do better in the CAF Champions League. But I think that this season maybe we need to be positive and we need to support him. And I think Lena, he needs to analyze his games because of sometimes you can see on the pitch as much as he gives effort, but he's desperate to get things right, man. And sometimes I think that's where things go south for him. But we will support him. We know that what he has done for the team, and we know his capabilities as an individual, man.
Yeah, no, Lena, I'm a bit worried, Peter, man. I think he's overthinking it now, man. He wants it to click, you know. He wants to go back to that shallow leader, you know, and maybe he needs a lot of calmness and composure, you know, and go easy, man. It will come. It will come, you know. So
Something I was sure to cut you off. As players, I think sometimes they don't want to be realistic, man. What I did 2 seasons back, maybe in the third season, I might not do it like how I did it previous. In the Euro, I watched Ronaldo, man. Like, I saw Ronaldo trying like unnecessary things. So I think sometimes players need to be realistic. I had this when I arrived, but at my age, there are things that I can no longer do. So I need to be more of a team player and play according to the qualities that I have currently, man.
yeah, no, but we will continue supporting
Yeah,
Peter.
yeah,
We're not
definitely,
being
yeah.
negative or any. We're just raising concern of Cup preseason. He looked to be off it, you know, the chances that he
Yeah.
would get, you know, the finishing, you know. Yeah, guys, that's it, man. That's the first installment of the Yellow Corner for the new season. Thank you guys for watching. Please continue to subscribe, guys, and help us grow this channel of ours, man. We really appreciate if you don't just watch but subscribe. And what me and Rabelang do, guys, is no different to what you guys do at home. It's just that we want to be like camera in front of us and we make our views public. We don't always get it right. We sometimes get it perfect to the T, but we just sharing our opinions. What we say here has the facts, you know. So just to put that out, man. And yeah, hopefully it is a great season for Mamelodi Sundowns. And next time there are subjects that we didn't touch on because of time, like goalkeeper Williams not going to preseason with the team due to an op and stuff like that. We'll maybe touch on that on the next installment as we preview our MTN8 quarterfinal against Polokwane City Kaya the 11th. We should drop it, the preview, Friday, next week Friday or Thursday. So until then, sharp raps, sharp Masandawan.
Sharp Masandawan.